Okay, today I'm going to cover the adjustment on the loader control valve. And the way these are set up is you have a simple control valve that curls the bucket or lifts the loader itself. And this is kind of a very common thing on any loader, is that you'll see the linkages and or the nut that holds the linkage tight to the valve. It's just gotten loose and it gets sloppy. So if you see the movement I've got in this, it's quite a bit. Left to right, it's way too much, right? That's obviously out of adjustment or needs to be tightened, so you can see why it's happening. And the way you get to these on the B100s is you take off the seat base. There's 6 bolts, 2 in the back, 2 in the middle, and 2 on the floor. Take the entire seat base, put it right on the floor, and then you're gonna pull the dust boot off on the valve. The dust boot is actually on the valve when you first take it apart. And once you do that, you can slide that right off the top through the handle area. Once you do that, you can see exactly why it's happening. All you gotta do is tighten up that nut. And then you want to adjust these so they're facing in the same way that the valve is, right? So the valve's facing me, this should be facing me. Of course, if you push that with your hand, you could probably get it to go. Most of the time, you gotta back off there's a lock nut on this. So you wanna get these all lined up, and you also wanna tighten up the nuts on the rods. I'm gonna do that now so you can see what it looks like. Okay, I got the loader control valve all adjusted. If you look at it now, I'll put my finger on top here, you can see what the play is. There's no play. Like I would say there's no play at all in this valve. And I've seen valves after you adjust them, you know, the mechanisms that control the valve obviously get worn out, so they won't get that tight. But this is amazingly tight for a machine that's got 1,200 hours and is about 20 years old. So I think the good news is on this one is that it's pretty much back to normal, almost brand new. If you look at the way that this is adjusted now, there's 2 nuts on the back here that need to be adjusted. This is the front one, and then the back one. You want to tighten those down, and that's going to take the majority of the sloppiness out of the linkage. And then you want to also make these parallel, these 2 here with the valve. You see how that's parallel, the 2 slots, the slot of the valve and the slot of the linkage, both on the left and the right of it, right? So that is really what you want. And then for the front to back, also try to get that parallel with the valve. If you do it that way, everything's gonna be as tight as it can be. And again, it's a 20-year-old machine, but even with 20 years, this is really, really tight. And it's almost, I would say, close to where it was when it was brand new. So that's how you would adjust it, and that's what you can do pretty much on any machine. And again, it's hard to get to these this area on most machines, but with the Bobcat, it's really easy. So this is pretty much what you want to do.